Well, hi everyone. It's good to see you all today. And hello there, Pete, my good buddy, way over there on the other side of the world in the UK. How are you this
Yeah,
afternoon?
man, yeah. Well, I'm doing all right, dude. Yeah, so just heading into our fourth heat wave. So,
Yeah, there
well,
you go.
we're not
Yeah,
cooking on gas; we're just cooking.
there you go. Yeah, it's a little warm here in Western Canada, and of course, if anybody's watching news, July and August in Canada is our wildfire season, so
Yeah,
we're dealing with that. But it's all good. We're still lucky to live in this country and very happy to be here. So yeah. So we're gonna turn the tables a little bit, and I'm gonna interview you today. I got some questions for you and our audience because I think it's very interesting and I think it's really important. And what I wanted to talk to you about today is um, many of us who are in the supported self-management space know the work that you've done, and we talk a lot about how, we jokingly call you one of the OGs in pain self-management, and you've been doing this for a long time. And I would say, Pete, I would suggest that like you're one of the early adopters in sort of formalizing the supported self-management space.
yeah,
Like we were just talking offline there, the pain toolkit itself, internationally known, used all over the world. It's like 25 years at least you've been doing it. That's way ahead of a lot of things, but your work in self-management goes back even before that.
yeah,
And I'm interested to know what motivated you to be such an early adopter when many of us came along late, and in some cases only came to where we're at because of the work that you do. So you really laid a lot of the foundation. So walk us through a little bit about how everything started for you and what it was that motivated you to get into this work.
yeah. Yeah, thanks, Keith.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, it's been a been a wild journey, to be honest with
Yeah, I'm sure it has.
you. Well, I guess I was introduced to self-management. See, back then it wasn't really called self-management. It's like self-care or something, you know.
Hmm.
But I was because of another health issue that I have. I was introduced to self-management.
Hmm.
What could I do for myself, etc. Back in the mid to late 80s, about 87, I think.
Okay.
So I had that sort of grounding, I suppose. I
Hmm.
dig myself out of a problem, really, a health problem I had at the time.
Hmm.
And so when Pain came along, visited me, well, didn't visit me, he's
Yeah.
still around. It's sort of
Yeah.
a
Long visitor.
one of them bloody visitors another go, like. But
Yeah.
I knew when I first had back pain, I knew I wasn't really getting anywhere in the with the doctors. I was pretty much become a health tourist, bouncing around
Hmm.
our health system,
Yeah.
seeing this one that like a bit of a roundabout really.
Hmm.
And I thought, well, I need to I've got to break out of this somehow, but I didn't know how to.
Hmm.
And and I thought, well, what I'll do, what I'll do is like with the other self-management program that I was attached to, it was started and run by people with the same problem, So
Hmm.
I thought, well, what I better do is I need to talk to other people like myself who live
Hmm.
with back pain. Back then, in the early 90s, so all I was just back pain. So anyway, so I had to figure out where to run a group, like a support group.
Hmm.
So I approached a few people, found a venue which held literally really only supposed to have about 20 people, but the demand was so much, like, I put an ad, not an advert in the paper. I did an article for the local newspaper. The
Hmm.
phone went bonkers and went crazy. And I think on the very first meeting, I think it was Ramo. It was I think close to 40 people turned up. I guess, like,
Wow.
people, yeah,
Yeah.
all looking like just like me. Really, there's like all carbon copies of me, all looking for answers, all
Hmm.
jumped up in the medical model and stuff like that. So anyway, so I started the support group started in, I think, about 90, 93,
Okay.
92, 93, and then but I knew it was. But then it's I didn't really know about pain management.
Hmm.
So all our speakers were like osteopaths, chiropractors, physios, and whatnot.
Okay.
Pretty
Hmm.
much complementary therapists. But so no one knew about pain management. But then I was always I just kept on looking because I thought there's got to be something out there that does it. What can I do to help myself? Like, and
Hmm.
just by chance, someone told me about a woman who lives in a county called Norfolk, which is two counties up from where I live,
Hmm.
a place called Norwich, and she had been on this pain management program called Input in London. And but back then, Keith, there wasn't anything like this. Yeah.
Hmm.
If I wanted to contact someone, or I had to either phone them up or write a letter.
An actual written letter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually write a letter. I didn't have
Yeah.
any computer skills, so I was still learning really.
Hmm.
I dropped this lady a line. She told me a bit about it, and then I wrote to the Input Pain Management Program
Hmm.
in um, in London. I asked them. I said, "Is anybody there that can come out and talk to the group, like about pain management? Because it sounded really cool. I thought
Right.
this might be something could be interesting, but especially for me and other dudes, So anyway, a lady called Amanda Williams. She came out. I didn't know how high up she was in the pain world then. To me, she was just another therapist, but
Hmm.
she was, well, she's still important, super important now, really. But I think she's retiring like me a little bit.
Hmm.
But she was the clinical psychologist around the program,
Okay.
and as she was talking about the program, about how to learn pacing and doing exercise, stretching exercise and stuff like that,
Hmm.
guided, me getting the support of the team. I thought,
Hmm.
oh, this is right up my street. And it was an inpatient program, so like the NHS, it moves pretty slowly. So I applied to go on the course in '94,
Hmm.
and I applied to go, but I didn't get onto it until July of '96. So,
Okay. Hmm.
but anyway, but our program really turned things around for me. Gave always say, not only gave me the skills and um, skills and tools, but it most importantly gave me the confidence that I could
Hmm.
manage my pain myself. And I always I knew that when I walked away from there, I'm one of the lucky ones, and I think because I always remember saying I think I can do this,
Hmm.
and I had that same thing, keep when we do our conferences and workshops and stuff like that. That is my main aim. I think we talked about this before. Our main aim is that when people leave a workshop or a conference, I want them to go away with the same thinking, I think
Hmm.
I can do this, that
Yeah.
got the
Yeah. Build them
confidence.
that confidence, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I cracked on, and there wasn't anything in my area. See, back then it was just pain management. Self-management wasn't a term. It's just called self-care, really. But
Hmm.
anyway, so I thought, well, I'll um try and start up a pain management program myself. Don't ask me why. I thought, well,
Oh, yeah.
you can't, you sometimes you just got to stop waiting for people and just get on.
Well, yeah. You saw a gap and you decided you're going to fill that
Yeah.
gap. Yeah.
I sort
Yeah.
of created a 6 week program, but I didn't do it. I had it help with a local physio called Jeanette Munson, who
Hmm.
did well. I actually all the stretches and exercise I got from because then it was just like a back pain program,
Hmm.
and I used a video, then it was just a video. It then went into a DVD called Fighting Back, which was produced by another person with back pain called
Hmm.
Maggie Hayward. And we used all the stretches and exercises that she filmed from uh, another back pain management program in
Hmm.
the Southampton way. So we use that so everybody that come on the course they got a video or of the so they could do the stretches and exercises. But Jeanette, the physio, she would take them
Hmm.
first.
Hmm.
Not We had some other dudes come along as well. I think we had Alexander, the technique teacher, about
Hmm.
how to use our bodies correctly, etc., and stuff like that. So anyway, that cracked on, and then I got a job. It was then called the National Back Pain Association. It changed its name to Back Care, and I got a little job with them, um, pushing out the program to the other
Hmm.
groups within the organisation. But then things really took a turn where the government, they had a new government then, a Labour government, who really wanted to turn things upside down in healthcare.
Hmm.
And they was looking around for people like myself, coaches, trainers, who to start up something called the Expert Patients Program.
Hmm.
But I tell you what, I think I've jumped ahead a little bit too far there because around about the same time as the Expert Patients Program was coming around, but also I started to have the thoughts about writing a booklet and
Okay.
called the I think back in the early days it was um, I think it's called the Pain Toolkit, something like that. Or fight. No, it's called Fighting Back, and then I changed it to Back Pain Self Managed. I can't remember now. It's been
Hmm.
getting
Yeah,
old,
it's been a while.
getting old now, people. I forget. So, but because then before I joined, as I joined Back Care, but I was started getting notice from people in Europe, I guess, and an organisation out there. They invited me over to Madrid to do a presentation. I've never done one of those before in my life. I
Hmm.
got so nervous as unreal. Anyway, I did that, but then a German company contacted me and said they're developing a program for doctors to learn more about pain management, but
Hmm.
we want to hear from the patient, so can you write a module managing pain from the patient's perspective?
Hmm.
And that then is where from there I was just thinking to myself, well, but before all this, before my jobs before then were I was back painter decorator, and
Hmm.
so if I come to paint your house, Keith, I'd have to turn up with a bag with different tools, different paintbrushes and rollers and whatnot. So I thought, well, people with pain, we need a toolkit of skills.
Mm,
So
right.
that was the
Yeah.
idea. So I started putting together. Um, I think at the beginning there was only 8 tools in the toolkit.
Hmm.
I was showing to other people, other patients, and other
Yep.
healthcare professionals. They say, "Oh no, you need to add this and da da da." And so in the end, like any toolkit, you don't want to walk around with a too much of a heavy toolkit. So when we got the 12 tools, I thought,
Hmm.
call it a break.
Hmm.
So I was starting to develop that, and but then that was going to be that was getting quite successful. And then, so the expert patient program sort of come along. All this sort of stuff was coming at me in all different angles, really.
Yeah.
And so the pain toolkit was sort of gaining notoriety. And I was working on the expert patients program I was a trainer for Essex, where our job was to train up people in the community to run self-management programs. This is where the
Hmm.
term self-management sort of came to light, which we was using the Stanford course
Hmm.
from
Yep.
Stanford University, which Kate Lorig produced or developed and produced. So that was when I was still, and the term self-care wasn't not frowned upon, but it wasn't used anymore.
Right.
Self-management, self-care was sort of seen as well. You just sort of brushing, if you've got any hair, brushing your teeth, look, you
Right.
after yourself.
Yeah.
Self-care was doing that stuff, but self-management was about taking action.
Hmm.
So yeah, so all that sort of come along, and then when I was working in the expert patient pro, I was at a meeting over in Cambridge, a meeting over there, and the woman that was there, Angela Hawley, she was from the Department of Health. She ran they was still calling it self-care.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a big budget, but from long-term conditions. But I just said to her, "I just ever seen this, Angela? I'd never known." I just went up to her. Yeah, I see, I've seen this. This is really good. Where can I get some copies from? I said, I don't know. I said, I can't afford to print them off. She said,
Hmm.
we'll do it for you.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So, so I said, she said, how many do you need? I said, oh, 5,000. That'll probably keep me going for a year or so.
Hmm.
Little was I to know that they was going to print them off, send them out to whoever wants them.
Yeah.
Well,
Hmm.
little was I to know they in the first year they sent out 40,000.
40,000.
Yeah, crazy. In the second year, another, I think it's 40 or 60,000, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was like that was amazing. And then I think I think money was getting a bit tight then. I think they did the last print run was 40K. You know,
Hmm.
so I think in all, there's I'm just approximately guessing. I think it's about 140,000 they printed off something like around that region.
Holy
So
cow.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that was really what really got me going there.
Hmm.
So, but then I think it got tough and everything, and so since then we've had to sell the paint toolkits for pay for the printing ourselves like.
Hmm. Right.
But and during that time there as well, see, I'd bumped into a German doctor, a guy called Reinhard Sittel,
Hmm.
who I met at another meeting, and because I wrote a program called Managing Your Pain one day at a time.
Hmm.
And he was brought in by this German organisation as just getting, get his opinion,
Yeah.
and I was explaining to him how it all worked, and I could see he wasn't. He did. It's not that there was a language barrier, but yeah, I think he thought, well, this is a bit too. He didn't really get the concept, really, like
Hmm.
and I
Yeah.
knew that, but I developed skills by then about reading people.
Right.
I said to him at the end of the meeting, I said, "Do you like football?" Because I'm an Arsenal.
Hmm.
He said,
Hmm.
and his eyes lit up. He said, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, who do you support?" He said, "Oh, yeah, I support Nuremberg." And we got chatting, etc. Anyway, we started networking together. And
Hmm.
little did I know that he he got his daughter to translate it into German. The toolkit,
Oh.
yeah. Then he sent it off to his mate his buddy over in Switzerland, and in Switzerland you have to um, you can't just produce uh, booklets in German. You have to do it in Italian and French. So now we've got an English version,
Okay. Look at
German,
that. Yeah.
Italian, French, etc.
Yeah.
And it's all printed up. And this German organisation who had offices all around Europe.
Hmm.
Well, over the years, they've all been translated into their own languages. So that's why we've got
Hmm.
all these international ones, like
Right.
so
Yeah.
Spanish one, Norwegian ones, Portuguese, I don't know. I think it's I don't know, 14, 16 different languages now.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah. So and then my time with the expert patients program that came to an end in 2008 for one reason or another. I won't bother going. It was pretty boring. So
Hmm.
I just since 2008 I've been concentrating on uh, the Pain Toolkit. And
Hmm.
I think I met you in 2008, Keith, didn't I? At the
2018.
2008.
Yep. Yep.
We knew each other on social
Yeah.
media,
Yeah.
and we were speaking at the International Association for Study of Pain, which was never
Hmm.
heard of back then, was it? Really, we was
That was new. Yeah.
yeah,
That was a first.
super new.
Yeah. Hmm.
So, we all did little workshops, and
Hmm.
we listening to your workshop. I'm sitting there thinking, because you were talking about neuropathic pain, weren't you, and how that affects you. And
Yeah.
I'm sitting there thinking, the toolkit ain't going to help you a lot because I didn't understand about neuropathic pain, how you explained it being unpredictable,
Hmm.
So that's where me and you that really got
Yeah.
a close connection, really. So we co-wrote the neuropathic pain toolkit, and I don't know, we've co-authored about three or four, haven't we?
Yeah. We've had him sort of unstoppable for the last what is that, like 8 years now. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm just going to have a little bit of sip of me tea.
Hmm. Yes. Hmm.
And yeah, so since then, really, Keith, I've been just cracking away.
Hmm.
Things are still expanded. We've got to Katie Napton.
Hmm.
She came up with the idea of creating a training school for
Yeah.
healthcare professionals because you both, we both know that support self management isn't, or pain support self management isn't taught in any. Well, it is taught in some medical schools, but not everyone.
Yeah.
Katie Napton came up with the idea of run it. She came up with an academy, Pain Toolkit
Hmm.
Academy.
Yep.
So that was about 2 or 3 years ago. So the Pain Toolkit Academy, which is an accredited course now that healthcare
Hmm.
professionals and healthcare, and there's a separate course for patients.
Hmm.
But the accredited courses that healthcare professionals can do now,
Yeah.
and guess they get their point. Is it
Continuing education.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
so they can do that, and also so we've got a patient course, and then say in recent years have sort of moved more into supported self-management for people with
Hmm.
long-term conditions. Well, we're both doing that because of our own issues, with not just
Hmm.
long-term conditions and
Yep.
my stuff with cancer self-management. So
Hmm.
that's pretty much a bit of a whirlwind visit to. There's loads of stuff going on in between then, but uh,
Yeah. But I
but
think
it's been a
that's,
wild journey, man.
yeah. And I think, I mean, thanks for sharing all that because, you talk about stuff and it's interesting. You were talking about, programs that existed in the UK through the NHS in sort of like the 80s and the 90s. And in my experience in Canada, if any of that existed, I wasn't aware of it, but I was also not in a very good place to be looking for it. But
Yeah,
what I appreciate about what you just shared with us, and I've seen this throughout all the years that I've known you, is your curiosity, which then you turn into action. So you saw a gap and you're like, well, first of all, you were like, I got to do something to help myself.
yeah,
You came to that place in your life like way faster than I did. Because we know for supported self-management to be successful, we have to be willing to help ourselves. And I was not that guy for a long time, but you were doctor shopping like I was, we're doing all that stuff, but you realized sooner than I did that wasn't working. You needed to do something. So you found something, but you still saw a gap, and then you're like, well, I got to do more. And that's what I've seen throughout all the time that I've known you, is you never stop questioning and never
yeah,
stop actioning. So it's been really fascinating for you to walk us through that history because we have seen how far you have brought sort of this along. And I think a lot of what we see today that is happening in the world of pain supported self-management, you helped lay that blueprint and you've made it easier for others to come along and say, I don't have to start from scratch because there's this foundation that you built.
yeah.
And I think it's amazing. Like, thank
Well,
you.
I mean, the terms that supported self-management is, as I say, it's a fairly new term,
Hmm.
but that's down to you and your Canadian buddies, I think, because was it?
It was Owen Williamson who
Yeah,
shared that with us one day.
yeah, and
Yeah.
all I knew was self-management, see,
Same here. Yeah.
and I thought, but when Owen Williamson pushed it, in a way, I thought to myself, well, how's that going to sound? Support self-management, blah blah. But man, I'll tell you what, that
Right.
flips it on its head, and
Yeah.
I didn't know how popular it was here until
Hmm.
I was having a cup of tea in bed on a weekend, as you do, and I just for a laugh, I just put support self-management into the Google, Mr. Google, Dr. Google.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Guess what come up? Support the NHS has got a
The
whole
NHS, right?
Yeah, they've got
Yeah.
a whole page on support self-management. So that's how progressed it's made.
Yeah.
So been interesting, but I'm always see I never stop thinking. Well, you know that anyway, because
Yes. Yeah. You're always going. Yeah.
yeah,
I always get worried when you say I've been thinking. I'm like, oh God, what are we doing now?
I keep
So
pestering you. I say, well, look, what do you think to this? Because I
what do
do,
you, yeah.
no, but man,
Yeah.
I do respect your thoughts really, because I know
Oh, appreciate that.
sometimes
Thank
I
you.
can be a bit too out there. but the because something funny enough, I was having lunch with someone today,
Hmm.
where they said, well, your phone must be ringing off the hook, like, with people wanting to learn self-management because it sounds amazing, because I was talking about a little bit about my journey
Hmm.
stuff. I said, no, I said,
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
tough gig, getting people involved
Hmm.
in supportive self-management. I said, and the healthcare professionals don't really know about it,
Hmm.
but getting people interested in it, that's the bit I'm thinking,
Yeah.
how do we get someone
Yeah.
struggling? How do we
Yeah.
switch their can-do switch on, bang, like that?
Yes. I
So
agree.
say,
Yeah.
I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to get better, rather than
Yeah.
give me another pill, give me another treatment, etc.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
so anchored into the medical model, the old ways of doing stuff.
Hmm.
How do we flip their like a bit like a, or do we need to just keep sowing seeds, you know, and wait for
Yeah.
them to germinate, But
Yeah.
is that, and that's the bit I'm still looking for. That
Yeah.
um, I've tried to do it in with video, um, different ways, Keith, haven't we? We tried over the
Yeah.
years trying to
Yeah.
catch someone's attention. That I think that's the bit of grabbing someone's attention and thinking, look at us, and but you got to do this. Like, I think, you know, but doctor shopping is still pretty rampant out there, but it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be. And to me, it all, all roads lead back to Rome. We're back to the schools really, where they're supposed need to get out, include supportive self-management within their curriculums. Because
Absolutely.
it's never going to change, man. Well, it
I
will,
mean,
but
I hope it does. Yeah, yeah. But I think the runway is long, and like you said, I think you and I agree, and we've seen that the success comes when people come to that place in their life when they say, "I got to do
uh,
something to help myself." And I think you're right. Right now, it's more about sowing the seeds because that
yeah,
switch, if it's there, we haven't found that switch. But what we have found is planting the seeds and then
yeah,
germinating it over time.
yeah,
But and I love the term supported self-management. Like
yeah,
you, I
me too.
really latched onto it because um, in my case, I definitely have more of a supported side. I have a team of doctors that I need, but fundamental to all of it is everything that I do to help myself. And that's what we
Yeah,
know is so important. We have to do our part.
yeah.
And
Unless we work together as a team, we ain't going anywhere fast, baby.
absolutely, you're just gonna be stuck in that cycle. So
Yeah,
I really, Pete, I really appreciate you taking the time to walk us through this because, I mean, that is, in some cases, you've been doing this longer than some people have been alive. And that's what scares me when you and I are getting older. Like, holy smokes, we've been doing stuff longer than people have been alive. But it just goes to show that it's been a bit of a slow burn, but change has happened. And you have really, through your work, have laid, sort of a blueprint for how it's to be done. And that is not for nothing, my friend. That is
yeah.
so, so important. And we hear so many other people talk about the work that you do. And I've heard others, like our good friend Jo Belton, and I agree with her when she says we stand on the shoulders of Pete Moore and the work that we do. And we really do, my friend. So now I know you're a humble man, but you have you've
See, I,
given us something to work from. Mhm.
I think we all work together.
We do
Yeah,
absolutely, but you know me, I'm a engineering kind of guy. When you start building something, you got to start from the foundation first,
yeah,
and
I
you
know.
laid
Yeah,
you laid a foundation that we can all build off of.
yeah.
So
It's
thank you for
nice.
that.
It's nice you to say that, but I think
I know.
without you and Joe and other people out there that I've bumped in or come into my orbit over the years,
Hmm.
I wouldn't be able to look at me. I bumped into Reinhard, Doctor
Hmm.
Sue.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't have. We've had these
Yeah.
the fantastic support really.
Absolutely.
Without
Yeah.
these, but see, if you want to say what does supportive self-management look like, Reinhard City,
Yeah.
Dr. Owen Williamson,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
there's tons of them out there that have all been part of our journey, really, like that we've worked with,
Absolutely.
etc.
Yeah.
And
But
also
I.
other self-managers, Tom over there in the States,
Yeah. Yeah.
Jerry Dunham over there.
Hmm.
I love his work. All about I think it's so right. The recovery staff,
Yeah.
front desk.
Yeah. Yeah.
So about these people in our orbit, man, and
Yeah.
the thing is, a like attracts a like.
It
Uh,
does, yeah, absolutely. But never lose sight of the fact that you have to start at the ground. And you were one of the early adopters who started digging a foundation to say something
yeah,
needs to change.
just,
So
yeah,
yeah.
and it just happened, but I'm not an
Yeah.
academic fella. Never been an academic fella.
Uh, but look at all you've done. Like,
Yeah,
and it's all about your curiosity and you're willing to act. You
yeah,
were like, something needs to be done, and there's something I can do.
yeah.
So thank you again for sharing that. It's been fascinating. I learned a few more things that I didn't know. I thought I knew your whole story. Absolutely
Uh,
not.
I've
So
got to keep some of it back, dude.
absolutely got to keep it interesting, my friend. So
Uh,
so everyone listening, I hope you have enjoyed this, and realize that, the work of the Pain Toolkit is, remains more important today than probably it did in the day that it started, because it really is the center, it is the nucleus of everything we need to do in the world of pain supported self-management. You've really captured that foundation. So
can we, before we go, acknowledge
mhm.
uh, Ronnie Thompson over there in New Zealand?
Yes, of course.
She's been part of our little journey as well, like,
Hmm.
hasn't she? So,
Yeah,
well, thank you.
yeah.
Pete.
Yeah, no, we've been fortunate that in our journeys we've come across, and like you say, like attracts like, and that's how you build a movement. It starts with one
Yeah,
voice, and over time it grows. So,
yeah.
again, thank you for taking the time to share all that with us, Pete. It's been
Thanks, Keith.
fascinating to learn your journey. And everybody, if you have any questions, feel free to drop Pete a line or myself. We don't have all the answers, but we're very good at
Yeah,
finding maybe others who can. So, yeah.
yeah. Thanks, Keith.
All right. Thanks,
Take care,
Pete. Thanks,
everyone.
everyone.
Be kind
All
to one
right.
another. Ciao. Bye.
Absolutely.
Bye.
See ya.